Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Tank. I want to introduce you to our host, Negas Daffody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Tank. And today, I'm your host, Niggas Daffody. Today, we have a special show with the African Chess School from Nigeria. We are presenting the chess strategies in African Revolution. And here today to tell us more about the African Chess School is its founding patron, Shaka Bulan from Alkebulan. You all see what I did there, right? Shaka Bulan from Alkebulan. Okay, today he will be telling us more about the African Chess School, how it relates to revolution, most especially the revolution of the mind, and the projects the school is currently working on. My brother Shaka Bulan, what's up, bro?
Lade, Negos, Daffody.
Yeah, what's
Negos.
up,
No,
bro?
No, I don't know. My friend is doing online
Bro,
class.
please tell us more about yourself and the school.
okay. Good day, everyone. Well, if you want to know more about myself, you have to know who I was.
Hmm.
However, now this is who I was. Who I was, to get who I was, absolutely, you have to picture a 1 feet, listen carefully now, a 1 feet tall man in a bush, and the bush is 8 feet tall. So who I
Okay.
was, like someone that's extremely short and is walking around in the darkness. So I was a person who had energy.
um,
Zero.
sorry, Shakabulan, please can you work with your background noise because they're interfering with what you're saying and I can barely hear or pick what you're saying.
Okay, I said, to understand who I am as a person, my name is Olayinka Shakabulan. I'm the
Thank you
founder
very
of
much.
African Chess. So to understand, to know who I am, you have to know who I was. Now, this is who I was. I want you to picture a 1 feet tall man walking
All
in
right.
the 8 feet tall bush. So I was so full of energy, creativity, but I was just, using it randomly.
Hmm.
So I studied biochemistry, but I I worked in a bank for some times. I have a
Right.
friend, he also studied engineering, he's working in Access Bank now too. So our
Okay.
who we really are, what we really want, we don't know. So we are just like that guy walking around. And what is making me use that guy is because we have lacked one thing, is our history.
Hmm.
History is
Hmm.
power. Dr. Henry Clark said that the history is supposed to be the roadmap for a child. So I say history is power because history not just only have your culture, but history also have hidden possibilities, skills, potentials, business opportunities of your own people. Because when you study history, you're supposed to know yourself more.
Hmm.
Now, so
Right.
when all these things are missing, now, okay, look at this now. This is the world now. People are using their intelligence to make the world better for us to live in. Now, the white people are creating something that will benefit them, and they will tell us the world. Now, black people, what are we creating? Something that will benefit the world, them. You see,
Hmm.
even when we are using our intelligence, it is not. So who I was just someone, and many African youths are still like who I was. You know, they just
Right.
want to, they have knowledge of the past. And okay, look at this now. There's this guy. I'm not saying that it is not good for for black people to add to the development of IT or tech or anything going in the world. Absolutely fine, great. But what I'm saying is that because of the fact that our history is missing, our power is missing. We are not channeling our power to African development.
Hmm.
Um, still about the 1 feet tall man roaming around in the 8 feet tall bush. You know, think about this recent man. He created a technology of a game, a robotic technology. Is an Igbo guy from Nigeria. Great, absolutely. Then
Mm-hmm.
somebody has created an educational system that will innovate the African mind chessmatically and chess logically. Now look at this critically. Do you know the world need these two things? But what do African people need games right now, right? Do we really need really games? I'm not saying it's not good for him to have created a game, but I'm saying is that if we have our own history in our own head, we can use our
Right.
intelligence, our creativity to develop our own people.
That's true.
So who I
Because
was,
if
that was, I'm sure by now everybody must have understood who I was.
hmm. So tell us more about the school, African Chess School.
So after discovering the gap between these mental states in African people, I understand that uh, this thing is happening to me and happening to many other African youths. So I dedicated myself to studying, reading history, and after reading so much history and trying to teach what I've read, then I now understood that people don't like reading. People don't
Hmm.
like anything that involves them reading or being serious too much. People
As
don't
the
like
saying
it.
goes, if you want to
So there
hide a
have to be
secret
a
from
way
a
to
black
help
man,
our people. Nobody wants to read. Do you understand? But she understand. So I understand that
yeah,
there's one
bro.
thing my people like. My people like entertainment. Entertainment.
Hmm.
Look at music. When Burna Boy is saying all these enlightenment now, they are all getting awakened. Do you understand? So the
Yeah.
point now is that let us use entertainment as a tool. Now, what's entertainment I want to use? Chess. You know, so I understand that within 6 months, I could create a black man that will take his position and say that I am a black king that will take responsibility for his race, his family, and himself. That kind of black man that will be conscious of national development. Because at every point in time when you are looking at the chessboard and you are in the school, there's no way you won't understand history, and there's no way you won't be able to use it in your normal life. And there's no way you will play chess that it won't work on your confidence. And this kind of confidence, I mean, we are not just going to train students and just let them go out there and just do whatever they want. No, we are going to train students and unite them. We're going to unite the African youth, make sure everybody have the same mindset, understand what's going on. Someone said racism is a game of chess. It's more than just saying that. They have to see it themselves, understand everything that is going on in their country, how it relates to chess, understand historical figures, understand White Knight, Alexander the Great, and remember Black Knight, Toussaint Louverture. Understand White Bishop Abdullah, and also remember Black King Imhotep. You have to be able to
Hmm.
know all these things as a black person. They will improve your confidence. Improve, I mean, you know. So
Yeah.
that is the essence of the school. Within
Okay.
6 months, we usually have a graduate in our school. Within 6 months.
A graduate, like you award certificates.
So,
So
the aim of the
sorry,
school,
Shaka, please, can
of
you
African Chess School, is to
Can you
renovate the
please work
African
on your
mind
background, please?
chessmatically and chess logically, meaning that we use the chess piece.
Okay.
Of of course,
Okay. Hello?
yes, I can.
Okay, so
Sorry, I can hear you now.
I'm going to be asking you a
I can
couple
hear
of
you now.
questions. I'm going to be asking you a couple of
What's
questions
what's the next
from
question, please?
yeah, I'm going to be asking you a couple of questions from the creator of the channel, Max. And the first question is, why is every piece on the board on the same level? That is, how is the king all powerful, but a pawn can still be the king? Shakabulan.
Please come again. Wetin you ask me? What was the question, please, Ladi? Lagos Dafidi.
The question
Yes,
was,
I'm here
why
with you.
is every piece on
Your
the
question,
board?
please.
Yes, why is every piece on the board on the same level? That is, how is the king all powerful, but a pawn can still be king? And why do you have the queen having so much advantage that the king doesn't have, yet the king still gets to be the one to drop? Shakabulan, are you here? Okay. Shakabulan.
Okay. First of all, let's start from the. Yes, please. You said, why is the king also? Why is the queen also powerful, and the king is the supreme? When the king is captured, that's checkmate, end of chess. When the queen is captured, game continue, but you have a slimmer chance of winning. This is why. The ancient name of chess is chaturanga. Four people used to play chess. In ancient Africa, Africans believe that man and woman are equal. The Europeans don't believe in this. This was the first modification that they did to chess when it arrived in Spain.
Wow.
They changed it and made it that the queen is only second. Usually, if the queen is captured, the game is checkmate, just as the king, symbolizing equal power. That is the usual, this is the ancient rule of chess. Now,
Hmm.
your second question, you said, why is it that the pawn can capture the king even though okay, you see, you don't get. See, everybody is a pawn. Everybody is a pawn. The fact that some
But
people
their
are
moves
royal
are not the
family
same.
and they are at the back, or they are all those factors, the king can even still be. No, you don't get. We all have a starting point. That is the meaning.
Okay.
We all have a starting point. The pawn, the pawn is so powerful. Since I said, now look at this psychology, Negos Avidi. Since I said that in ancient Africa, the king and the queen are equal, and every queen is a potential queen. What does that
Mm-hmm.
mean? That means if you are going to go back to the ancient rule, that means every pawn is a potential king. You see?
Hmm.
Do you understand? So what I'm
Yeah, I
trying to
do.
say is that the pawn is the basis of everything, but the pawn is the most important in the real sense. Pawn are eight, majority eight, and when they
Hmm.
unite, they make things happen. All these eight pawns, there are eight queens and there are eight kings, according to Chaturanga, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Okay,
so the next question is this:
please go to your next question.
how can an average black person implement chess strategies into their life if they don't have a working knowledge of chess? Hello. Shaka, are you there?
Yes. Negos Dafidi.
Just said yes, yes, Lagos Deputy, and you went on mute. I asked you a question, Shaka.
Yes, I'm here.
I said, how can an average black person implement chess strategies into their lifestyle if they don't have a working knowledge of chess?
Okay. Now, listen, bro. As in, look at this question. See, bro, see. The truth is, chess is a game, right? But it's more than a game. How can you know how to use the strategy behind it if you don't know how to even play the game itself? Do you know many people are living life and they don't even know how life work? That is why they jam agbako. Now, for people over there, agbako means that something you did not plan. You know, we would have been able to miss many trouble and we would have been able to come out more successful if we have plan and strategy. I will repeat that again, that in life we can be more successful if we have good strategy and plan. So chess is about, getting used to having strategy. Some people even live life without having strategy. So now, someone that doesn't even understand chess, you want them now to be using chess that is based on strategy. I will say no.
Okay,
I will
okay,
tell them.
hold on.
I will
Maybe I should rephrase a bit, right?
rephrase,
Uh,
rephrase.
we understand that chess is a game of strategy. Yeah. So, what are the strategies that you're familiar with when it comes to playing chess that you can apply to the day to day life? Not necessarily them learning to play chess yet, but if you know a few strategies that function in chess that you, the founding
Okay,
patron
like
of the African Chess School, can apply.
like this. Let me start with the first word on the chessboard. The first word is move. The
Okay.
first word is move. You know what that means? That means that no matter wetin don happen to you have to move. That means what usually matter is the next thing you do, is the next thing you say, your next move.
Move.
Now that
Right.
first, you no understand that one, you dey come school first, tell you say move black
I
man.
feel you. Yeah.
That already you are taking the self responsibility. Okay, you have to do something. That on that. Then you see, sometimes emotions is one of the things that uh actually make us say that some people are more intelligent than some people. Emotions. You see, emotions is so powerful that when they capture your queen on the chessboard, because
Mm-hmm.
being that is the most important, you have a chance of capturing the enemy's queen back. Then you capture the enemy's queen back, then you get what? You get checkmate. Because you can't even see that it's a bait or something. You know,
Hmm.
understand? Sometimes even the person that even have the chance, we don't want to lose his queen, we take his queen away instead of sacrificing the queen for the checkmate. It can be either way too.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I feel you.
So
So
people have
you're saying emotions, move then
emotions.
emotions.
And now this is how we use that. When someone say that, I just say, okay, okay, they abuse me now. Is it compulsory?
Mm-hmm.
Is it compulsory? I reply you. That
At
is that
all.
is it's exactly because it is a move. So by understanding how all these things apply, you know, we understand that the knight is the brave guy, is the bravery. Then you have to know when to be brave. Emotions, numerous, as in I've said three, but I can still keep going.
Yeah, yeah, but let's still delve into emotions for now. I have a couple of questions when it comes to
Okay.
emotions. So
Okay.
talking about emotions, right? Love, I understand love to be a great emotion, right? So so in the day-to-day life activity of a person, of a black person, are you saying we should put love aside?
Okay. love aside, love aside.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, okay. If we include love, that is emotions also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, you have to understand something about emotions generally. Emotions generally. Because I have learned how to undo my emotions doesn't mean I cannot be emotional. But because I have mastered my emotion means that I will know when I choose to love. Do you get it? So the ability
Okay.
to be able to hold all these things on the chessboard, hold the emotions, hold the feelings, is a process. It is sharpening the mind. It is
Hmm.
affecting the mind. When person just chow your queen, chow am back. Do understand do this. So all those things will be affecting the person listening to it more. Fela shouldn't when they read history, they relate it to chess. All this
Hmm.
activity now, we now make them know that at this particular time am I supposed to love or not. So they will now think about the love consciously for the love. Some love can be poisonous too.
Right.
Now
Love
some
will
love
get you
can be
killed
help.
in some instance.
Now the kind of love that can be helpful is the kind of love that we use for revolution for Africa. Now it's could have caused fights and so many fights and so many
Hello? Shaka, are you there?
that happen. There are so many things. Are you listening? Negos.
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, I can hear you.
I found out that tribalism is still a big problem in Africa. Whether we like it or not, ethnicity is it's tearing apart black unity.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was this. I understood that since there is differences between Igbo man and Yoruba man, then let us use this Igbo word onyem to symbolize our greeting. When I call you onyem, onyem means my person, an Igbo language. You reply with black man. This kind of activity now makes the Igbo man understand that is relevant even in the Western land. When the Western man want to
Hmm.
say, when the Western man want to say, come on, you just go sit down somewhere in Yoruba or something. The next thing, the next black man will say is onyem, onyem, everybody, You see,
Right.
black black unity. Even chess. When you want to check someone's king, you get them check. But we don't say check, we say duba. Duba. Duba is an Hausa language that means check. Okay, one day
Okay.
when I was going to my place when I was working in the bank, so I was on the bike and the bike guy was now looking somewhere else. And I think another bike is coming very close to us, and I said, Duba. I said check. I don't understand Hausa, but Duba, guy faced front, and that was how you just maneuver, and we have to
Okay.
gradually we'll be able to learn our own language even by doing all these things. It is
Okay,
not
so
that.
we talked about making the move, and we talked about emotions. What other strategies do you have in place to
Foresight,
compare with the daily, yeah,
foresight, brother. You see,
foresight?
yes, foresight.
No, you were the one that made mention of strategies in chess that
Yes, and I want to tell you another one. I said foresight, posterity. Are you listening, brother? Negos, are you there?
Shaka. Oh, Shaka.
I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Who's that
Okay,
one?
so
Who's
are
that
you
one
putting
again?
for are you
That's
putting
very funny.
foresight? Are you putting foresight before or after making the move?
Ah, do I still have to explain that? Okay, if you put the foresight after making the move, that is what happened to
Mm.
someone that does not come to African Chess School.
But you
But
said move will be the first thing.
no, you don't get. I'm saying that move itself is a self responsibility that makes you understand that you have to do something.
Okay,
Understanding you have
okay,
to do
okay.
something means that you have to think before you do what you have to do. That's foresight. Now we all know
Okay.
that the future is real. We all know that in the next 10 years, everybody beauty will fade off and we all become something
Mm.
strong and hold the next 20, 30 years, right? But
Right?
nobody is brave enough. Yes, but nobody really, nobody, as a few people really acknowledge the fact of this foresight.
Mm.
You know, you can know you can know something is there, but you may not really know it is really real. You can just vague. So first, when you use the bishop, it makes you understand that someone placed in a place, waiting for the enemy to bring his rook or his queen down that diagonal or down that rook
Hmm.
or down that file or rank or diagonal. The bishop has been left there, not moved, to ensure that someone is not going to
Shaka. I think we lost him. Welcome, Black Knight.
Hey, what's going on, my brother? How's
Yeah, I'm
everybody?
good, bro. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Is Shaka Bulin still there?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay. I wanted to ask
Yeah, I
her.
was asking him. I was asking him a couple of questions
Uh huh.
that you had prepared for him. So he was
Okay.
still answering the second question about implementing strategies of chess into their
Mhm.
daily lives.
Right. The thing I
Yeah,
want
so
to know
maybe
about is why the power is distributed evenly on both sides and all throughout the board. That's what I want to know.
mm,
If you really look at the game of chess,
right,
no piece is more powerful than the other. It just appears to be that way. The king appears to be the most powerful piece on the board, but he's no more powerful than a pawn.
right.
Right. You
Yeah,
see?
Shaka made some explanations to that, and
Yeah.
he talked
Yeah. I want to.
about equality, equality
Hmm.
on the chessboard. That we as African people we used to be equal, and the queen is a potential king. Do you
Hmm.
understand? So the queen can also possess power of the king, and
Hmm.
he mentioned the instance of the pawn becoming king, and said
Hmm.
the pawn can also be king because the pawn is equal and the pawn has more power because they are the majority. There are 8 pawns on the board. But Shaka is
Okay.
back in. He should unmute and we can
Okay.
Okay.
go
So
over
then
this
it's
question.
all right. So
Okay.
then it's not a game of power. Then it's a
Okay. So
game
I'm going
of.
to. Okay.
Uh huh. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
I'm here.
Mr. Bullen, how are you, sir?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm okay, brother.
Um, very honored to meet you, sir. Um, I was talking a lot about the chess. Then when you give that explanation, then it's not a game of power. It's more of a game of unity or a game of love and acceptance. And social understanding more than a game of power. Because if it was a game of power, then one piece would be truly more powerful than the other. which really isn't the case. All of the power is distributed evenly amongst all the pieces. So the only difference in the pieces are the names.
Okay, okay. You know what I think about that?
Uh,
I think chess is a game of life, and I think power is one of the things that we usually pursue in life. Power is just one of the things chess can also explain, brother.
hmm
Power, sex,
hmm
um, war, unity, as you said, emotions, love, hate, everything
hmm
about life, everything, all encompassing.
hmm
Chess can explain them all. Because when it comes to power, you will understand that king is the most powerful because the king, the king, when the king, though the king has been changed, but let me just explain this with the European kind of chess. You see, the king can move one step in all
Right.
directions, but just
hmm
one step. Why the queen
hmm
can go as many steps or as many diagonals to all directions.
Uh,
They limited the power of the king, right? But they
right.
also burst it back and make sure that when the king is dead, game checkmate. So
Right.
it's like a power explanation. And okay, look at this now. I said the pawn is very powerful, like the king, right? But the
hmm
pawn is going to walk how many how many squares forward? Six squares
Just
forward.
one.
Six squares forward before it can become a queen. Six squares. So you can think about that kind of stress, but yet the pawn is powerful because the pawn is the majority. You see, it's
So so basically, what you're saying is that, see, that symbolizes that anybody on the bottom with perseverance and determination can rise to the top, right? Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
yes, dedication.
Right. With this, the confusing part about chess is when you look at the king, right? And he can only move one space at a time. And the queen has free reign all over the board, right? And she can take any piece that she wants. The when you look at it on the surface, it looks as if the king's movement is restricted and the queen's movement has no limitations. Now, when you translate that into real life, you look at kingdoms. That's not the way kingdoms operate. No peasant in real life can match a king, a real king, or even reach a real king to do any kind of harm to a real king. And in real life, any kingdom, the queen does not out her movements or her authority does not outweigh the king's.
Okay. You see what I will say about that is that you see, I said it earlier that chess has been changed, a lot of it.
That's what I
Now,
thought. That's what I thought.
just because
Um,
Europe now want to balance Chaturunga to symbolize, that was why
hmm
they metamorphosed it and made it like that.
hmm
In, in the real sense, in the real sense, Chaturunga, the king will also have equal moves as the queen. And when the king, in my school, we also play Chaturunga, four-man chess. It means the
uh,
king, the king will have the power of the queen. But when the king die, end of game. Checkmate. Or when the queen die, checkmate. It's just a cycle. They try to balance it. They try to, when someone is trying to change something, they try to balance it up. You know, that is what happened over there.
Let me ask you something, right?
Okay.
Did the original chessboard that you know of, did it have more than one level to it?
Does it have more than one?
Right, because I think the board itself, the way it's presented today, I think it's incomplete because when you look at the pieces on the board, right? All those pieces have names, and behind those names have a certain level of power. So when you go into real life and look at the old kingdoms, right? Kingdoms were set up in different levels, okay? Think of it as a big skyscraper building, right? On the ground floor, you got the lowly guards, they protect the
I'm
building on the
listening.
ground floor. Right. On the second floor, you got the people that do this. On the third floor, you got the people that do this, right? And so I'm thinking that the chessboard isn't complete. I think the levels have been taken off because a rook wouldn't be on the same level as a peasant, which would be a pawn in real life. They would be a they would be a floor above, right? And a bishop would be a floor above the rooks, and so forth and whatever. So I'm thinking that the original chessboard actually had levels to it, and each piece, according to their names and their power, existed on those levels only.
Yes, so many things on the chessboard has been changed, and they made us believe that
Mm-hmm.
that is how it was, and that is how it
Mm-hmm.
must be. Take for example the fact that white move first. There's nothing like
Uh-huh.
white move first. Any color can move first on the chessboard. It is a basic logic. There are two colors on the chessboard, white and black. There are two pieces on
Mm-hmm.
the chessboard, white and black. Two plus two, four. 4/2, 1. 2/2, 1. You know, any
Mm-hmm.
color can move first, but now you have to be able to study it very well to know the truth. The truth has been so
Uh-huh.
hidden. That was the reason why the chess is so hard. It is truth to find the truth is very hard. Now, do you know that uh, on the chessboard, any color can move first, but yet white move first, and they make us believe that black can move first, which is a lie. Black can also move first. Now, it is just the
Mm-hmm.
arrangement of the chessboard that matters. I will say this. Then when I say this, you will get the whole concept behind it. You, do you know that God is white and devil is black? On the wedding day, they will tell us that they should wear white. When someone is dead, they're supposed to wear black. This psych is also used in chess, that your left hand side is black color, your right hand side is white color. So anything left hand is supposed to be bad, anything right hand is supposed to be good. you know so any color on the right hand side, you know when you look at the chessboard very well, the squares, when you look at the squares very well, the last square on your right hand, when it is white, then white move first. when
Mm-hmm.
that when that same square is now black, you will change it, you will shift, you will arrange the chessboard to make sure the black square is now on your right hand, then black will move first.
Right.
You have to use our critical thinking to know the truth.
Okay. Well, let me say this, right? When I look at the current uh, game of chess, right, and the board is very interesting because I think the board reflects life today. If you look
Mm,
at the board and you have the colors, the black and the white, right?
right.
I think the board represents racism, conflict, and war. Because if you
Mm,
notice that if the black pieces stay on their black spots, and the white stay on their white spots, nothing happened. But when they cross paths and one wants to go into the other territory, then there is war, right?
mm,
And there is war until somebody dies, meaning one of the pieces get taken away. To me, that represents a death in a war, right? And then that person, and then that piece that has killed
Square.
the other piece has occupied that territory. So now one side has more territory than the other. To me, it's an invasion. If they're just sitting there nothing is happening, right? And so if they move into the corresponding boxes opposite their colors, then war happens. And this pretty much reflects what's going on today in life. To me, I see in chess, I see racism. I see everything I see today. I see racism. I see discrimination.
Hmm.
I see murder. I
Hmm.
see hostile takeover. I see everything that's going on that in life. I see on that chessboard, simply because those two pieces, when they interact with each other and try to accommodate each other's space, there is no peace. There can only be war, and that war must end with a death, or until there is no more of the other or of the opposite color left on that board.
Okay, okay. Let me say this. You said when the when the white piece cross or steps on the or lands on the black square, that's when there is war.
Yes.
No, you see, chess is more than that. You see, when you look at chess critically, you find out
Mm-hmm.
that it's a game of power in the
Mm-hmm.
sense in the sense that the whole board is the planet's head and must be ruled by a kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I mean, hold on one second. But what I mean, right? When you look at the territory, right, on the chessboard, you have black and white colors on
Must be
both
ruled by
sides,
a
right?
kingdom, by a particular.
I'm sorry, you must have.
It doesn't matter where we fight. We can fight on the white square. We can fight on the black square. But sometimes positions matter. When positions
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's
I
covered it
think it
now.
dropped off. Yeah, I think it dropped
Yes.
off. So if I'm to get you correctly, Black Knight, what you were trying to say is when you
What
look
I
at
want
the
to say,
board,
right?
when you look at
All
the
that.
board, you kind of like see all of those discrimination, racism,
Yes.
murder, and the
And let
game
me let
will
me
kind
add
of
this.
like
Let me right.
okay,
And let me add this too, right? When you look at the two colors, if you notice that those two colors exist on both sides, right?
right.
And so the corresponding color that occupies one side is one solid color, which is black, right? So on that
Mm-hmm.
side, the black squares are more valuable. Okay. On the other side, it's all white. So the white squares are
White.
more valuable. So when the black side have black pieces occupying white squares, then those white squares belong to the sympathizers for that side. Okay. And if
Yeah.
you have the white side and you have white side, you have white pieces occupying the black spaces. Those are also sympathizers for that side. Now, we would call them coons, right? I don't know what you call the
Mm-hmm.
white people who sympathize with black people, okay? But that's who those
No, no,
people would.
I don't think any white will sympathize with blacks.
Well. They're trying to act like it with the Black Lives Matter and all that stuff.
Yeah,
They,
that's
they
just to
would be
put black people to their
right.
corner.
Right. But those would be the people. Those would be the sympathizers that are occupying the white spots on the black side, and the coons would be the sympathizers occupying the black spots on the white side.
Okay, okay, guys. I have this to say. When you look at chess, critically, you find out that all the piece can stay on all the squares. All the piece, as long as your move can allow you to move in such a way, you can stay on either white square or black square. But the aim of the game is to make sure that all these squares is controlled by one kingdom. The aim of the game is that all these squares, the squares you are seeing, they are like the planet heads, the black land and the white land. Do you understand? Of course, like what you said, bro, you are very right. The black square will favor the black side, something like that. Absolutely. But that is when you are fighting for positions. Sometimes even the black square will not favor you. You know, it's a game, but when you want to use the philosophy critically for the normal life, you understand that they are trying to say that we can come to Africa, Africans can come to Europe, Europeans can go to
So,
Congo. We white still move first.
mhm. Is he still on, niggas? He still on? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, Max.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what I'm understanding is that the pieces, the names of the pieces, right? The name of the pieces,
Mm-hmm.
they identify the ability of the piece to move. For example, a pawn can move in any direction as long as it only moves one space. A rook can move three spaces in an L, right? A bishop can move diagonally. So I'm thinking that their names correspond with their ability to move. So
Mm.
if you're on a diagonal path, right, that bishop can attack you because it can move diagonally because it is a bishop, right?
On
And so,
Right.
any square it will land, even if it's a black square, it's a white square, it's gonna land there because that's how the bishop moves.
hmm I'm sorry, what'd you say, Mr. Boolin?
From
He
what
said
you said, the bishop
uh
will
huh,
land diagonally on any square as long as
right.
it's a land on white or black square, as long as it's diagonal move.
I think the bishop has to something has to. I haven't played chess in a while, but I believe that the bishop can only stay on its color pattern, but something has to happen to move it off of its pattern, right?
Yes,
No,
there are two bishops on the chessboard. You have the
right?
black
Something,
bishop, white bishop, meaning that
yeah,
the bishop on the
yeah,
left side and the bishop on the right side, just as you have two rooks on the left side or the right side, you know.
right, right, and you have to be careful of coming into their path. They don't move from their assigned colors. A black bishop moves diagonally on black spaces only. If you come into that area, then the bishop can attack you.
No,
Now,
but you know what? When you have one bishop that is standing alone, it is
hmm
weak. It is only watching one diagonal. Do you understand? Compared to when you have two bishops standing, it's called Horowitz bishop. Horowitz bishop, but in African chess school we call it Oyekumeji.
hmm
Oyekumeji means the two wise men. You know, then when the two bishops stand together, you can't go near them. They're like a queen. There's no way you can capture them. You know, they're very dangerous. That is when there's two bishop, but just one bishop, a lone bishop, is not that much of a power.
well, a bishop to me, a bishop and a rook. The rook is the one that can move a lot of spaces as long as it stays in a straight line, right? It can go down and it can go across, but it can move many spaces, right? It can go all the way across the board if it sees fit, and then go like in an L, right? So if you're left with a rook and a bishop, say you're left with a bishop and a king, right? If you're left with a bishop, a white bishop, it'll be almost impossible for you to defeat that king on the other side because a bishop cannot move out of its diagonal pattern.
Mm. Shaka, are you there?
A king a
See,
king can effectively stay away from a bishop and nudge its way all the way up to a bishop and take it out in, without ever coming into its path.
what you are saying in the case of end end game,
hmm
in the case of end game, in such circumstances, if the king is mobile, a king that is mobile cannot be checkmated with just a bishop. If a king is mobile, it can move, but it's going to try to stay away from that square. You are absolutely right.
Right. If you had a black, okay, if you had a black bishop left on the board and I had a white king, all I have to do is stay out of the black spaces, and you will never be able to checkmate me.
If I have a pawn, you
No, I
know,
just said a bishop and a king.
a bishop and a king, okay, and you are the what? Just a king, right?
Right.
Yes, yes. There can be no checkmate.
It'd be very hard because if I stay out of the black space, you can only move diagonally.
You know what? You know what? You can
Mhm.
you can't checkmate a king with a bishop and a king. You can only checkmate with a bishop and a rook or a rook and a king.
Right, right. And so if you have pieces, if you only have one, because I've seen this before, if you only have one piece, if all your pieces get knocked out and you're left with either a rook, no, if you're left with a bishop, it's pretty much a stalemate or the game over because it'd be hard for you to take the king because
Not
all you have to do
possible.
is stay out of the black.
You, you can only checkmate with the only one piece that can checkmate apart from the queen is the rook. The rook
Hmm.
can check the king and rook,
Yeah, yes.
the king and rook, the queen and rook. That is the only people that can link up with the king. The knight can checkmate with the king, the bishop can checkmate with the king.
Hmm.
The pawn can also checkmate. The pawn can also checkmate. The
Okay.
pawn,
So
the pawn, the
so
pawn and the
so
king
so
can
so
checkmate.
so if you have a rook, right, left, right, now you have all of this free reign of movement. I can only move one step at a time, right? So you can checkmate me from a far off distance, right? But all I have to do is move one spot out of your range. Now you can move to that spot, but you still can't do anything. You can checkmate me,
Mm,
but as long as
No,
I can move, as long as
no.
I can move, I can walk up the ladder and
I can
eventually take you.
I can checkmate you if you have just a king and I have a rook. See the way I will do it here. See, the king is a great warrior in the end
Hmm.
game. The king, there are times that the king will have to come out and fight for his kingdom. You know,
Hmm.
so in the end game, the king is going to make sure he walks close, close, close to the enemy's king. Listen closely. I'm going to make sure I take my king to my enemy's king. After, like, probably we are 2 squares away, then I will take my rook down and checkmate. So there's no way the king will move out of out of that file because the next file is where the king stand. You get it
Hmm.
now?
Yeah, yeah, because once you reach the back line, you can request another piece, right?
No, no, no. What I'm saying is the king is going to move close to the enemy's king, and the rook is going to check the enemy's king from afar. So the king won't have anywhere to move. He won't be able to move out of that file because of the enemy's king. The king can't move closer to the enemy's king. So that's checkmate. Over to you, Negos.
we have we have one question from the audience. It's been there for hold on. Okay, it was from Dame Frankie from the audience. She asked, "Is it possible that the higher the power, the more the movement is restricted?"
What?
is it possible that the higher the power, the more the movement is restricted?
No, no, don't look at that philosophy. That philosophy is just based between the king and the queen. They are trying to balance the power between the king and the queen. That was why they gave the more powerful king lower move and the more powerful queen much move but lesser power. Do you understand?
No.
They are trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
balance the
yeah.
power and the queen. That was why they did it the king. But all of that piece, the power starts from the pawn, smallest to the rook. The
Hmm.
bishop, the rook stays like a pillar, very important. Then the knight, the two knights. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your rook just to have one bishop, sorry, one knight. The knight can be extremely powerful because the knight is a game changer. So sometimes you have to sacrifice the rook so that you can have your knight because you want to change the game. It is that powerful, the knight. Then still to the bishop. No matter how you may change the game, you have to always have a backup to your piece, a backup that cannot be shaken from afar. The bishop
Hmm.
can stand from afar and defend anything, especially when the bishop link up with the pawn. Oh my God! See, the bishop and the pawn, they can both make it to the end together. See,
Right.
it is only the bishop that raises the children for Africa. The bishop.
The bishop that raises the children of Africa. How do you mean?
Yes.
Please elaborate.
See, what I mean is foresight. Foresight. We have to understand that many people in Africa are mentally inactive. Mentally
Hmm.
inactive. So people in America have gotten the revolution to they get the revolution to a stage. They are so enlightened now. I know there are so
Right.
many black over there that don't know much, but not compared to Africa, my brother. The levels are different. So we are trying to
Right.
make it to push it to that level. Now, when we push to that level, we won't just be left at that level, but we will now have the predecessors, the children of the school, even the school itself, the people in the school itself, that will now make numerous move in all people's activity, economics,
Right.
education, entertainment, politics and law, religion, sex, war, and play. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And labor.
So I
And
understand
labor.
your school, African Chess School. You have a conference coming up on the 26th of September, right?
Yes,
Shaka, are you
yes,
there? Yeah.
yes,
So
please.
I'd just like you to talk about the conference coming up and the project you have lined up.
Okay, you see, in African Chess School, we've been able to unite, boys in the street, the ones in school, the ones that graduated from school that were like me, the one that never had the chance to go to school older than me. Everybody have gotten to become a better person now that they can do anything, and not just anything. They all have their area of specialization. Intellectually, we've been able to figure everybody out to a department. So now we understand that in our school we are so gifted that we have everything we need. We have a guy who's into crafts and can make anything. We make our own chess for our own self. Crafting.
The
We have
chessboards and the
we
pieces.
make it for ourselves. We have
Wow,
another one
that's good.
who is into filing. We have one into POP. So all this crafting, we are going to teach people of the public, black people, bring them together, then teach them that, then
Okay.
teach them chess, and teach them history. Then the school itself, the competition is now meant that the winner of this competition is taking half of the money. The remaining half is going to his team's project on craft. So he'll be working with four other students of African Chess School. Another person will be the president. Then they will work together with the half of the amount. Then they will come up with craft work of the school. The other one is IT, internet. We are going to work on our internet platform with same thing, half of the money. That's
Okay.
wait, but
Yeah.
the other one is the windmill project. We want to work on our electricity. Africa, we don't have light, but when breeze blow outside, there can be light inside the windmill technology. So we can work on that, get all the resource we need, learn how to make all the resource after getting it. Sometimes because you don't have something, you don't know that you can even do it yourself. So when we get
Mm.
everything that we need, then we can now start doing it ourselves and not having to get any other thing. And then that is how, a chess conference. Then we have other Pan Africans who come, they give speeches.
So the conference and the competition, it is tagged as an international chess conference and competition.
Yes,
How
first,
do you intend to feature?
it is called First
How do you
International
intend to feature others?
African Chess Conference. Conference in the sense that chess conference sense that I myself I'll be coming out to explain my educational system. I have a book called Shakabulan Educational System, a versatile system of
Right.
education that use the philosophy behind the game of chess to teach, to pass knowledge, to store knowledge, you know, something like that.
Okay.
So I'll be explaining that. Some of my students that understand the system will be also be coming to use the system to explain their own work. Then other of my students will be
Okay.
coming up to explain other things they've, I have other students who are into movie entertainment. They may come up to tell us about their movie. I would say because the movies are Pan African conscious. So just the artists will come also, everything that our students have to offer, we are giving them the opportunity to come and show it to the world. And we'll be using an Instagram page, IGTV, to for the event to be live. So it is an international chess conference. Workshop, I've explained the workshop part. Then the competition part is when we now uh, all chess players, all chess movers will come out. Everybody have, there's what they call rating in African Chess School. Rating, everybody rating. We group everybody according to their rating. Then the match begins.
Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So are you inviting people from other countries, like say Ghana, the United States, Kenya? Are you
Yes,
inviting them for the competition
yes. The
so they
competition will
can
be online.
participate?
Yes, the competition will be
So
online
how do
too.
they participate online? How do they participate online?
On the day of the competition, we'll be streaming it
Right.
live, and we'll be connecting. They will be using chess.com. Chess.com.
Chess.com.
So the
Okay.
person, will register on chess.com. Then all other people from all over the world will be viewing the chess app. Then both of them can play from the internet.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much then. So if you're willing to join the African Chess School while during the competition, if you're looking to win the prize money, you can also register on chess.com and look for African Chess School competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on Black Tank, and thank you for listening to us and our beloved guest from African Chess School, Nigeria. I so much appreciate you coming in to join us, Shakabulan. May the spirit of the ancestors continue to guide you and your endeavors.
I share.
So we've come to the end of today's program, and I'll be handing over to the Black Tank to close in for us with the lovely fade out song.